6 main influences on Indian monsoons. The influences kya hai? One influence is the trade winds. The trade winds, which are the surface winds. But remember that these get modified. So ये एक influence है कि monsoon बनता कैसे है. And remember, I'm talking about these influences mainly in a reference to South Asia and India. Because South Asia, India में monsoons are best developed. Monsoons का जो development है, monsoons का जो manifestation है, it is best for South Asia and India. Okay. So one important influence is trade winds, which are surface winds and they're modified. The second very important influence is the difference of land, water, temperature contrast. Difference of land, water, temperature contrast. Water is warmer in the winters, water is cooler in the summers. So land, water difference है. So India का जो coastline presence है, वो भी बहुत important influence है. The different land, water contrast. The third influence is the upper tropospheric winds. We know about jet streams, okay, and 3 jet streams play a very important role. The subtropical westerly jet stream, this is approximately around 30 degrees north pe hota hai, and it is over India in the winters. The upper tropospheric winds mein, the role of jet streams, subtropical westerly jet streams, जो approximately 30 degrees north में होता है, and the jet streams are over India in the winters. In the summers, they go further northwards. Okay, that's one jet stream. The second jet stream is the tropical easterly jet stream, which is over India in the summer monsoon months, easterly jet stream, and this is at around 14 degrees north latitudes. ये दोनों jet streams India पे throughout the year नहीं होते हैं. Okay, STWJ is over India in the winters, whereas tropical easterly jet stream is over India, okay, in the summer monsoon months. Both are very important for the rainfall patterns. The third jet stream is the Somali jet stream. This is present off the Somali coast and in the summer monsoon months. There is some kind of seasonal variations in the jet streams. Somali jet streams, they're off OFF, off Somali coast, like Africa ke coast se Arabian Sea mein, off Somali coastline, and they impact the monsoons in the summer monsoon months. STWJ ka jo role hai, the main role of this is the western disturbances and monsoon burst. Iska role hai strengthening southwest monsoon winds, and Somali jet stream ka bhi role hai strengthening southwest monsoon winds. The role of STWJ is western disturbances and a phenomena called as monsoon burst. The monsoons, they happen suddenly. The monsoons rains, okay, they happen suddenly along the Malabar coast. Usko bolte hain monsoon burst. Tropical easterly jet stream and the Somali jet stream, both are important for a strengthening of southwest monsoon winds. When these two are strong, the rains over India are good. The rains over India are good. By the way, your western disturbances, these are in the winters. These are in the winters. I'll come back on this in some other way. So what are the influences on Indian monsoons? One is the surface winds, the trade winds. Second is land-water difference. The third is upper tropospheric winds. Okay? Achha. The fourth influence is the location and the strength of ITCZ, the location and the strength of ITCZ. What ITCZ does is, it is also called as monsoon trough. It's also called as the monsoon, TROUGH. Monsoon trough का मतलब है low pressure belt है. It's also called as monsoon trough or referred to as the low pressure belt. And this ITCZ, this is the main low pressure belt that pulls the southwest monsoon winds northwards. अगर ये low pressure नहीं होगा, the winds will not move towards the land. They pull the southwest monsoon winds northwards. And this ITCZ, during the rainy monsoon season, during the rainy monsoon season, it is located at around, rainy monsoon seasons, it is located on the northern plains between 20 degrees north latitude. It is located on the northern plains between 20 degrees north latitude. And please know that its position is not always stable. It can shift north and south. उसकी वजह से droughts होती हैं, floods होती हैं. The position is not fixed. It is not stable. It can shift north and south. During the rainy monsoon seasons, it is located on the northern plains between 20 degrees north latitude, and its position is not always stable. It shifts north and south. So something like this, agar this is India, like this, ये Himalayas हैं, so your ITCZ कुछ ऐसे होता है. This is your ITCZ. And this ITCZ क्या करेगा? It will pull the winds towards itself. It will pull the winds towards itself. Okay, this is the ITCZ in the summers at around 20-25 degrees north latitude. And it can also keep on shifting. So this is the main low pressure that pulls the winds. This is the Arabian Sea branch. This is the Bay of Bengal branch. They pull, called as the Bay of Bengal branch. And this is called as Arabian Sea branch. And these together is southwest monsoon winds. ITCZ, Intertropical Convergence Zone, also called as Equatorial Trough. Okay, और इंडिया में इसको बोलते हैं the monsoon trough. Intertropical Convergence Zone, the zone where the trade winds meet. The zones where the trade winds meet. Okay? So this is your fourth influence, correct? The fifth influence is the Himalayas. The Himalayas are another influence. Himalayas का दो तीन role है. One is, okay, they create the distinct climate of South Asia and block the Central Asian cold winds from impacting South Asia. They create distinct climate of South Asia. अगर Himalayas नहीं होते तो South Asia एक अलग type का climate zone बनता नहीं. Okay, Himalayas, they are kind of what we call as climatic divide है ये. Okay, ये South Asia ये अलग हो जाता है. Central Asia, Siberia ये अलग हो जाता है. So Himalayas are a type of climate divide. They are a type of climate divide. Okay, they separate the climate of Central Asia जो काफी ठंड होता है, snowfall होता है यहाँ पर in winters, and South Asias are warmer. South Asia is wetter. Okay, तो ये एक role है Himalayas का. The second important role Himalayas is that they modify the subtropical westerly jet streams. They modify the subtropical westerly jet streams and are responsible for the western disturbances. They're responsible for the western disturbances, light rainfall of the winters. Light rainfall of the winters. So ये Himalayas हैं. A jet stream coming from the west and it gets blocked here. The jet stream coming from the west, ये Purvanchal hills हैं. They get blocked here. These areas, the northwestern area of India and the northeastern areas of India, they receive light rains in the winters. They modify the subtropical westerly jet streams. Okay, they are responsible for the western disturbance rains in the winters. और ये कहां पर होता है? ये होता है नॉर्थवेस्ट इंडिया में, इंक्लूडिंग कश्मीर, पंजाब, हिमाचल, और होता है इधर अपर असम में, अपर असम. आई थिंक हमने कहा भी होगा, ब्रह्मपुत्र रिसीव्स रेन्स ट्वाइस, once in the winters, once in the summers. ये हिमालयस हैं. This is the Himalayas. The Himalayas, they are blocking the jet stream. ये jet stream आ रहा है. It gets blocked here. तो इस area में rains होता है. The jet streams, they are blocked here. This area has rains. This is northwestern India, Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, northern Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, western UP. These areas have rains. Kashmir mein main rainy season is April, May. तब होता है rains Kashmir mein. Same is Himachal Pradesh has some rains, snowfall. तो winters में है, but rains proper is that time. दिल्ली में rainfall होती है, western UP में rainfall होती है, तो northwestern India में, and in parts of upper Assam in northeast, यहाँ पर भी rains होती हैं. इसी rains को बोलते हैं western disturbances. Western, because they come from the west. ये जो jet stream है, this is jet stream. This is the subtropical westerly jet stream. ये आती हैं west से. They come from the west. And they are blocked by Himalayas, causing rains here and having rains here. That's all. And just know that ये जो rainfall है, winters वाला, it's very good for the rabi crops like wheat, like mustard, like chana, gram. ये rainfall की वजह से you have got good harvest of the rabi crops. Good harvest of rabi, R-A-B-I, rabi crops. Himalayas ka. The sixth influence is the Tibetan plateau. The sixth influence is the Tibetan plateau. ये बहुत important है. There was a scientist called as Kutishwaran. He talked about the role of Tibetan highlands. हम 1970s की बात कर रहे हैं. There was a Indo-Russian एक project था, called as the MONEX, Monsoon Expedition, MONEX project. इस project में this man Kutishwaran said कि Tibetan plateau का बहुत अहमियत है. Tibetan plateau has a very important role to play. So Tibetan plateau, what does it do? It is the heating. It is the heating of the Tibetan plateau that in the summers that creates low pressure, and it energizes the tropical easterly jet stream. The heating of the Tibetan plateau in the summers, it creates a low pressure. And that energizes the tropical easterly jet stream. इसके बिना monsoons will not be as powerful. So हमारा problem ये ना, Tibet कहते ही our imagination is that Tibet is all cold, only ice, snowfall. ऐसा नहीं है. Tibet can be pretty warm. Summers में they become grasslands, they become grazing lands. काफी hot होता है Tibet. ठीक है? So Tibet at altitude, it also has लेस एटमॉस्फेयर, तो इंसुलेशन है वो बहुत पावरफुल होगा. तो टिबेटन हीटिंग इन द समर्स क्रिएट्स अ लो प्रेशर. सो इंडिया के ऊपर में okay, there are two important low pressure systems. One is the ITCZ, the second is Tibetan Plateau. Both play a very important role. It energizes the tropical easterly jet stream. It energizes the tropical easterly jet stream. Short में हम इसको बोलते हैं TEJ. इसके बिना monsoons नहीं हो. That's one reason why Indian monsoons are very different from any other monsoons, because बाकी जगह तिब्बत जैसा plateau नहीं है. A massive plateau at elevations of more than 5,000 meters. आप देखो, आप ऐसा बड़ा सा plateau है, ये हिमालयाज हैं, and this Shivaliks and the northern plains. इतना बड़ा plateau. The average height is more than 5,000 meters. Okay, and the sunlight, the strong insulation, this can heat it up. It forms a low pressure area. Okay, इतना बड़ा plateau और कहीं नहीं है. So if you look at India's monsoon conditions, this is Himalayas, this is the Tibetan Plateau, Himalayas, Tibetan Plateau. Okay, this is Kutch Kathiawad. What impacts monsoons? ये Tibetan Plateau में यहाँ पर low pressure है, and यहाँ पर ITCZ है. This also is a low pressure system. These two together responsible for dragging the winds, okay, towards India. These two together will force the winds towards India. This is the Tibetan low pressure. This is the ITCZ low pressure. These two together play a very important role. The 6 influences on Indian monsoons. So keep drawing, keep sketching. You'll have a pictorial idea kahan par kya hai, and that is good enough.